Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, Prime Minister Skerrit collaborates with the Marigot Village Council to plan development initiatives for that community. A renewed commitment from the international community to assist Dominica evolve into the world's first climate resilient nation. And Dominica intensifies preparation for the Windward Islands Senior Men's Tournament with just 21 days to go. The details of the news coming up.
Do you need more cash for that home improvement? Then come to Fast Cash, where we give you more. At Fast Cash, our customers get more funds and more time to repay. But wait, can't come to us? We'll come to you, and our mobile officer will get you on your way. Small businesses, consumers, and taxi owners. Fast Cash has more for everyone. Simply call or visit any of our locations for more. Smarter, faster, better. Fast Cash. Terms and conditions apply.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fenced pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
First up in the news, Prime Minister Skerrit met with the executive of the Marigot Village Council on Friday, making several commitments for development projects in that community.
Mr. Skerrit, giving an update on his Facebook page, described it as a very fruitful discussion. $1.5 million has already been approved for housing repairs in Marigot, and Mr. Skerrit said coming from the meeting, he expects the council to submit the names of those requiring urgent assistance. The Prime Minister highlighted other actions to be taken for Marigot, to include construction of 30 new homes in the Leo Park and Melville Hall areas. He says the sites will be assessed in consultation with the Ministry of Housing and the Marigot Village Council. He has committed to allocating funds to the council to assist with outstanding payments to truckers pending the invoices. Prime Minister says 30 persons from Marigot who recently registered under the National Employment Program will soon be engaged, while space will be made for an additional 20 persons through consultation with the council. Mr. Skerrit has promised the council members that an engineer from the Ministry of Public Works will visit the community next week to conduct estimates for rehabilitation of roads and storm drains. A contract was already prepared for the building of a bridge, and Mr. Skerrit has promised that Public Works will review the terms of the contract and set a start date. There are plans to construct a hurricane shelter capable of withstanding Category 5 strength storms in the northeastern community. The Prime Minister says he has told the Marigot Council that they should feel free to engage him or any of his ministers to address their concerns.
Health authorities here have assured nurses with interest in appointments that the matter is with the Public Service Commission. The newly appointed Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health and Social Services, Letitia Lestrade-Wyke, gave the update this week, saying she would do all in her power to assist employees of her department and not just nurses. Wyke was at the time announcing several measures being implemented by government, including plans to improve the nursing profession.
Currently, all recommendations are with the Public Service Commission pending approval of the appointments for all our nurses. We had all our wardens who were temporarily employed are currently have received their appointments, their permanent appointments. And so we are also looking at the issue of assisting the domestic workers and other non-established officers.
Government recently approved many non-salary benefits for nurses, some of which are in response to Hurricane Maria's impact. That includes a one-time relief uniform allowance on top of the usual allowance.
We had allowances that were increased by 100%. So we had the night nourishment allowance. It is not a night duty allowance. It's an allowance to provide a meal for you while you do night duty, and that was increased by 100%. We had the nurses in the district who do on-call and call out. The allowances were also increased by 100%. We had the call-out or on-call allowance for nurse practitioners, that's the FNPs, and their allowances will also increase by 100%. We presented a proposal in terms of nursing sessions. Nursing sessions, when a nurse is off duty, it's not overtime, you're off duty, you report for duty, and we pay you for your day. Those allowances will also increase. The rate of pay was also increased.
The Ministry of Health has also acted on the long-standing transportation woes of nurses who work at night. White gave a commitment that this initiative will be permanent.
Post-Hurricane Maria, we had several volunteer agencies, and they assisted with providing the payment of transportation to pick up the nurses from their homes, starting from Portsmouth all the way, and they would take them to work for the 8 p.m. shift. After persons finish working the 1 to 8 p.m. shift, they would also transport the staff to their homes. The agencies ended their assistance in February, and the Ministry of Health have taken on that role. So the transport is provided for the nurses to pick them up from Portsmouth to Roseau and to drop them back after work. And one of the discussions we had with the Cabinet Secretary and the Chief Personnel Officer is to provide additional transport so we could do the other coast, south districts. To show appreciation, I don't think that we are going to stop that. Yeah. I think it's something that will continue in the long run.
Nurses were also provided with uniforms through the assistance of volunteer organizations post-Hurricane Maria. In related news, President of the Dominica Nurses Association says government's recent measures will not stem the tide of nursing attrition. Nurse Rosie Felix says her colleagues are still discontented based on consultation with them because what they want is a salary increase.
As I told the minister, when the nurses asked to meet with him and he stated, these promises, he on his own, well, I guess he can make those promises, but if it has to do with negotiating, I don't want to comment on it as to if it's satisfying or not. This is not going to stop nurses from living. I speak to the nurses one-on-one all the time, and this is not what's going to stop the nurses. Money is not all, money is half of the problem, and nurses want a salary upgrade.
The DNA has brought their concerns to the Public Service Union to negotiate salary increases for nurses.
We thought it would be courteous to meet with the minister, so we did that. We also met with our members and, to listen to them. But as you know, many nurses, nurses are public officers, so the next best thing is to go to the union. But of course, as an association, it is our duty. The International Council of Nurses mandates that we lobby for good working conditions, positive practice environment. And since we are not a union, of course the union is the one going to do the negotiating. Nurses are not impressed with this no upfront, no, and they are stretched thin, they are burnt out, they are fatigued.
The international community has reaffirmed its commitment towards helping Dominica attain its goal of becoming the world's first climate-resilient nation.
UNICEF's Regional Director, Marita Percival, pledged the organization's commitment during a workshop to review the Joint Emergency Cash Transfer Program in Dominica on Thursday.
We are here responding to your call, to the call that you made in the General Assembly of United Nations, and I quote, "The time has come for the international community to make a stand to decide whether it will be shoulder to shoulder with those suffering the ravages of climate change worldwide, or the international community will merely show some pity now and then flee." We are here to humbly contribute to make Dominican dream come true. We are here responding to your call, Prime Minister, to make Dominica the first climate resilient nation in the world.
Regional Director for the World Food Programme, Miguel Barreto, says partnerships are important towards developing more resilient communities in the face of climate change.
WFP stands by its commitment to continue investing in this promising area of work and to make every single effort count towards a more efficient and effective humanitarian response linked to national systems. I want to ensure all of you that we are stand with you and your country for a better preparedness future. And we will do all our efforts, Prime Minister, to continue serving the people of Dominica.
The Joint Emergency Cash Transfer, a collaborative effort between the World Food Programme and UNICEF, is the first time these two entities have worked together to support a government social program to respond to a natural disaster.
And clearly, this is an endorsement of this government's accountability, transparency, and human nature. And we want to thank you for placing your trust and confidence in us. And we want to assure you that you will not be disappointed. And we will continue to make every effort in ensuring that Dominica's social protection system and programs continue to serve their purpose, to save time and to improve efficiency and effectiveness in future emergency situations. Rest assured that although this program now falls under the auspices of a different ministry, by no means will this mechanism be halted. And the recent integration of social services to health affords us the opportunity to review the objectives and operational processes of the public assistance program and other social protection programs.
You are watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, a few surprises for this year's World Creole Music Festival. That and more when the news continues.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth or call 445-5001 275-5003.
When persons with TB sneeze or cough, healthy persons nearby breathe in the droplets and the bacteria can lodge in their lungs. People with weakened immune systems such as HIV/AIDS, alcohol and drug users, smokers, children, and the elderly are most susceptible. Persons with a cough should take precautions when in contact with persons in public places. Cover your mouth when sneezing and coughing. Visit your doctor or health center. You must complete your treatment. TB can be cured even with HIV. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB and HIV. Protect yourself and others.
Thank you for staying with us. Graduates of the Dominica Community High School, the class of 2018, have been reminded that education is a pathway to lifelong success. 6 students graduated Friday at a ceremony themed with perseverance, a quality education is attainable.
2 weeks ago, we launched the Flow Study Classrooms. This is a venture to help you to succeed in your examinations. We are monitoring our students' use of this Flow Study program. We want to encourage you. Use this avenue to build up on your quality education. Use it for your success. And we will be also monitoring to see the impact of it on your success in exams. And I want to use this opportunity before I leave to encourage the students here, the persons who are preparing for exams. You, the class of 2018, make every use of the opportunity that is made available for you to be successful in your exams. Make every use of this opportunity for you to be successful in your exams. You have been given tools that others before you wish they had. Do not let it waste. Make use of it. And we will see the benefits in the results that you will attain in August.
Anika James excelled in geography, Caribbean history, integrated science, social studies, and agriculture theory. The speech and drama, health and family life award, agricultural science practical, principles of business, public spirit, cooperation and leadership, deportment, and most improved student went to Joanna Joseph. Oliver Alexander secured the English A and Spanish A awards. A friend of the school, Alvin Anthony, presented monetary awards to a few students. Joanna Joseph received $500 US, Anika James $300, and Oliver Alexander $200 US. Staff who have served for over 10 years were also honored at Friday's ceremony. And a special moment captured by our cameras on Friday as one of the graduating students received a special gift from her primary school principal. That principal was instrumental in getting her enrolled at community high school, something the student initially resisted.
I am proud of you, Daddy. I am very proud of you. And I must say, the discipline from what you went to primary school from music has made you in this journey today. And that's what I do at Open Primary School. I love the children very much. Difficult for me to work with. But at the end of the journey, I tell my daughter this morning, nothing stopping me from coming to Annika's graduation.
And Dominicans and visitors alike are being promised a few surprises for this year's World Creole Music Festival, weather permitting.
According to Director of Tourism and CEO of the Discover Dominica Authority, Colin Piper, plans are being finalized to bring to Cabinet for approval before an official announcement is made to the public. He assures Dominicans that they can look forward to seeing some of the artists which were scheduled to perform at the festival last year.
Typically, when we have to postpone, we retain the rights to the artists from previous years. However, we are working on a couple surprises. Okay, and yes, it is progressing. We're hopeful in the next couple weeks to present something to Cabinet and get the official, so that 6 months before the event we can really get out there and have people save the date. People should be saving the date anyway, October 26th to the 28th.
The World Creole Music Festival was first held in 1997 and had been hosted every year since, except in 2015 due to Tropical Storm Erica and 2017 as a result of Hurricane Maria. As regards promoting Reunion Year 2018, Piper says events in the latter half of the year will have special emphasis on Dominica's 40th anniversary as an independent nation.
We're just dotting the I's and crossing the T's on that. And you can bank on everything that we have previously done to be done bigger, and we're dotting the I's and crossing the T's on what more will be added to the calendar of events. But we will, in a special way, call out the fact that it is the 40th anniversary of independence, especially for activities in the latter half of the year.
The theme for Reunion 2018 is My Love, My Home, My Dominica.
And the Office of Disaster Management is stepping up its preparedness aspect for the 2018 Atlantic hurricane season.
This was the aim of a 4-day workshop organized by the ODM for the National First Response Team. One of the areas of focus was the initial damage assessment, which Program Officer Donaldson Frederick says is useful to regional and international organizations who lend assistance to the country.
We definitely hope to see a stronger response-based mechanism in place in terms of response. The persons, in terms of their skills, in terms of their knowledge, we are confident that if they were to respond and if they were to enter into any community, the approaches would be of that of standard. In those events, what you find happening is you have international and regional organizations who depend solely on your assessment, on the initial situation overview, in order to provide support to the country.
The other component of the workshop focused on hazardous material at the awareness level in the wake of a natural disaster.
Our National First Response Team is critical to us in terms that it will be the main responding team immediately after the impact. When the responders goes out, they will be doing what we call an assessment. In their assessment, they may come across substances that involve hazardous material. And if they are not aware of it, then their safety is compromised and they will not be able to secure the rest of the community if the community is impacted.
The National First Response Team includes the police force, fire and ambulance services, Red Cross, and the Ministry of Health.
We want to broaden their knowledge because as we know, hazardous material is all about in the workplace and in the country by extension. And it's not only about preventing the hazardous material from getting to your skin. It goes further than that. So that's why we're training them so that they're more educated as to how to deal with these hazardous materials as well as saving lives. We hope to see a more solid response, a more coordinated response, more effective response, people knowing what they're about and then hence carrying on their duties.
The 4-day workshop for national first responders ended on Friday and was funded by USAID Office of Foreign Disaster Assistance.
Your sports highlights next with Kenny Williams.
First up in sports, the Northeast Comprehensive Team is the 2018 Under-15 cricket champion. They earned that title with an outright win against Isaiah Thomas Secondary in Friday's final at Windsor Park Sports Stadium. Batting first, ITSS was bowled out for 74 runs. Ethan PLB was the highest run getter for his team with 15. Ethan Serial bagged 4 wickets for 11 runs. In reply, NECS was dismissed for 50 runs with 11 from Sadiq Alexander. Jason Vidal snatched 6 wickets for 16 runs for ITSS. Batting a second time, ITSS gave up the game after being dismissed for a meager 23 runs. Neo Davis was a menace to ITSS when he took 5 wickets for 3 runs. Set 48 runs to win, NECS equaled the target for the loss of 5 wickets. Neo Davis added 27 to help prop the score. Despite the loss, Jason Vidal picked up 4 wickets for 20 runs for ITSS. Next up, after 4 weeks of training, the national senior men's team has been selected ahead of the Windward Islands tournament carded for later this month. With just a little over 2 weeks remaining before the competition, Marpin Sports caught up with the senior men's coach to get feedback on the team's preparedness for the regional tournament.
The performances during the trial games were pretty okay, given the fact that our local competition had just ended. You know, I would want to say that is what we expected of the senior players, and also some of the younger players also came through on trials. And as you would see that we have 3 young players in Dion Burton, Kamal Hamilton and Micah Joseph as part of the setup. So that's an indication that at least, you know, some of the young players are putting the senior guys under pressure. I think generally we have guys who are multidimensionally skilled, meaning they do batting as well as quite a bit of bowling. Going into a limited over competition, you would want to have your setup, you know, something like this. And I'm happy that I could have guys who could back up both as bowlers and batters. So if people like Jelani and Tyrone at the top, you know, Liam with all the experience, you know, still in the setup, although not captain this year. Alec Athanas, as you mentioned, you know, budding talent. It's exciting, you know, to have these guys. Kashaski John Lewis, Kevin James making a comeback after a year's absence. Gian Benjamin, Kavem Hodge, Gillan Tyson, Barbados. These guys, I think, will, on the day, really show up. And it will be really interesting to sit and watch what they're going to offer.
Responding to a question on a weakness identified in training, Thomas says he is hoping for the best and isn't overly concerned about weaknesses or strengths.
Cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties, and to preempt anything right now as it relates to weaknesses or strengths, it's just a question of continuing to prepare for the tournament, work on the areas that we think that you know, we need to work on, and basically, you know, just work with the guys. They have the self-belief, they're skilled, a lot of experience. So it's a question, as I mentioned earlier, just showing up on the day. And, you know, you just have to sit back and enjoy the exciting cricket.
The full squad reads Tyrone Theophile, Kavem Hodge, Liam Sebastian, Taj Tavernier, Vincent Luis, Kamal Hamilton, Alec Athanas, Jelani Robinson, Gianni Benjamin, Gillan Tyson, Kevin James, Kashaski John Lewis, Dion Burton, and Micah Joseph. The recommended captain is Tyrone Theophile, while vice-captain is Kavem Hodge. This year, the competition will take a 50 overs aside format as opposed to the 2-day competition among Windward Islands. The 2018 Senior Men's Tournament is scheduled to begin on May 25 in St. Lucia. Next up, we can tell you the DCA's Intermediate League continues this weekend with 5 matches spread over 2 days. On Saturday, the action bowls off at Botanic Gardens with Grassroots Cricket Academy up against a combination of the Tremors, Point Michelle Cricket Academy and Gallion teams. Over at Windsor Park Sports Stadium, Dubla United and Reuben Bakery Christians will battle it out for the win. The action continues on Sunday with Gladiator Sports Club and St. Paul Academy going head-to-head at Benjamin's Park. Moving south at Botanic Gardens, Police Sports Club will take on Kalinago All-Stars. And at Windsor Park, Marino Blasters Sports Club will go head-to-head with Starlights. All matches are scheduled to begin at 11 in the morning. On the football scene, following the successful launch of the Dominica Football Association's grassroots program in Marigot and Casabruce, the team will move to La Plaine this weekend. In excess of 70 students are expected to participate in the activity among the Montjean, Jones Beaupierre, Grandfort and Dalis primary schools. Coaches from DFA will be on hand to promote the sport as the association continues its efforts in ensuring a level of continuity in the sport. The program is carded for Saturday and scheduled to start at 10 in the morning. Finally, the Guinea's four-hand domino competition enters the final stage over the weekend. Defending champions Dangerous Public Enemies and Rebels will go head-to-head in the best-of-3 finals carded for Sunday. In their previous matches, Enemies secured their spot in the finals by defeating Wake Up Stars from Portsmouth by 447 points in front of a large crowd. Final scores: Enemies 4,009, Wake Up Stars 3,562. In the other match, devastating Rebels from Fonkole finished 516 points ahead to defeat Golden Arms from Soufriere, booking their maiden spot in the finals. Final scores: Rebels 4,002, Golden Arms 3,486. Sunday's competition is carded for Runners Bar from 2 in the afternoon. That's all the sporting highlights for now. I am Kenny Williams. Be sure to have yourself an awesome weekend.
To end the news, the headlines again. Prime Minister Skerrit collaborates with the Marigot Village Council to plan development initiatives for that community. A renewed commitment from the international community to helping Dominica evolve into the world's first climate-resilient nation. And Dominica intensifies preparations for the Windward Islands Senior Men's Tournament with just 21 days to go. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Do have a great May Day weekend.